I need to talk about Notre Dame because I have been Mr. Notre Dame for 8-9 weeks, and I finally bet against them. Actually, I bet against them in the opener. I was like 4-0 on Notre Dame games because I bet against them with Miami, and then I bet on them against Boise, against Navy, and against USC. So I've had a really good pulse on Notre Dame games. And then I looked at the number against Pitt and said it's too big. And it was not. They pounded Pitt. After that, I told you 14 points in 10 seconds when I was like, oh, that's over, right? Like 0-0, and then it's 14-0, and you just click. Let's talk about the game this week. Paul, this number is such disrespect. Such disrespect. Notre Dame is a 35.5-point favorite against Cuse. Paul, do we do it again?
Should they not be?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Why? Like there's a million other things I'd rather do with my Saturday than be like, oh, I hope this broken Syracuse team can like keep it within 35.5. If a similar sequence happens that just we saw with Pitt, I mean, that could happen 3 times. I just
3 times. Okay. It's fine.
I mean, a little hyperbole there, but I just don't see the point, to be honest. Like it is though interesting. Like you look at all these, like in the first half, you look up Wisconsin, 28.5, 30-point dog. That was never in doubt as a dog to cover. Mm-hmm. South Carolina jumps out on A&M, should have won. They were a 3-score dog. There was Oklahoma State was like I think a 3-score dog to Kansas State, and that was never in doubt either. So I don't want to just be like, oh, big spread. Like, look, I don't know. Because I've tried to buy in. It wasn't just the Fran Brown thing. It was also the OC, Jeff Nixon, and how he had worked with multiple quarterbacks. So like there's like, all right, new guys in. All right, we're still figuring. There's a little bit of a learning curve, maybe a game or two, but we're figuring some things out on offense. Haven't seen that against much worse competition. And I don't know what the case is for Syracuse. I struggle to get there. They got terrible defense. The offense isn't keeping up with much lesser opponents. Kind of hoping to white knuckle it and get inside the numbers, how it feels. In the Carrier Dome, you could convince me maybe like one more rah-rah get up towards the end of the season.
You sure there's going to be more Syracuse fans there?
It's in South Bend.
Yeah, it's a home game.
Oh, that's right.
I'm saying if it were.
Okay. You would go there.
I'd consider it.
I think we should talk a little bit more what happened in this Pitt game, because there were a lot of narratives that were proven flat wrong in this game, right? Pitt's so great against the run. And Schwartz mentioned, he's like, well, they haven't faced a running back, rushing attack like this. He's right. They hadn't. That was clear. Well, man, this freshman quarterback, dude, he just keeps throwing for 300 yards. That's a bad secondary on Notre Dame. Is it? The team that was there in the first 2 weeks versus the team that we see right now, I think is different. I know they've played much softer opponents since those first couple of weeks, but that's the toughest part. You're trying to gauge teams early in the season. Okay, cool. You test yourself with 2 tough opponents, Miami, Texas A&M, and then they have their way with your secondary, but they're clearly better. Notre Dame develops players. They get better as the season moves on, and now they're going to get, I think, a home playoff game because they were, the 9, and they should move up again. So, I just think there's some narratives that maybe we should revisit with Notre Dame that I just don't think are true. Like, the defense is not bad. They could continue to light up the scoreboard. So I don't know that I'm going to have a play on the game. I did not have a play on Notre Dame Pitt, but I'm not looking to take dogs against this team that can throw up 40 plus anytime.
Yeah, look, it could easily be 49-7. Like, it could be, no doubt. I was asking Paul, somebody who went to Cuse and has an idea. So that's good. I can cross it off and not think about it the rest of the week. I was thinking about this though, like how is Jeremiah Love still 40-1 to win the Heisman at BetMGM? I think he's the best player in the country, and I think in no world do I have Mendoza minus 115 and Love at 40-1. That's crazy.
He's just decided he's not winning it, right? Feels like that's what's happening. It's going to be a quarterback.
I'm not gonna bet it. I feel like they're baiting me at 40-1, but I think he's the best player in college football. So we'll see. A couple moves that I wanted to at least mention. Texas opens 10 at home against Arkansas, gets bet to 10.5. I did the Texas thing. They were in it, and then they were not in it. There's 14-10 and then dead. Okay, there's that. Penn State opened 10, and I see a 9 and an 8.5 in the market. Nebraska's on the road at Penn State. Move toward Nebraska. And then here's what's going to happen. After I went against Florida last week, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to stay off it this week, and Tennessee's going to beat Florida by 17. Like, Florida's going to quit this week. I know it's going to happen. Tennessee opened 3.5, and now 4s are popping on the Vols at Florida.
And I'm laughing at the number of SEC games that you can't find a point spread on because the opponent's so bad. It's late in the year, and this is where we're at right now. SEC play, it's fine. It's acceptable over there. Will Alabama bounce back? Yeah, probably. Eastern Illinois is who they're playing. Yeah, it's certainly. I wish I could bet games like that, but we can't. Oregon, USC. USC coming off the win. It was close, probably closer than they wanted. Now they go to Oregon. It's 9.5. A lot of books. 9.5 is your number. That's probably going to be the most talked about game all week, I'd say.
You think that'll be in the room? USC plus 9.5? I do. That'll be one to
probably
pay attention to. Oregon ran the ball at will against Minnesota. Just ran it at will. And they're still shorthanded on offense a little bit, down a couple of guys. But Shadik did come back for the game against Minnesota on the Friday night, and he looked good. They used him a lot more as a receiver, kind of split him out wide a little bit. He's a tight end, but they used him a little bit differently on Friday, and that was an impressive attack on a Friday night short week. So I was impressed with Oregon, no doubt. I would probably lay it before I take them, but that'll be one that definitely I think you're going to see a lot of support from Mayaba catching 9.5. Yep. Understand for sure. And then, TCU Houston is going to be a really good game. And Houston at home is a 2.5-point favorite. TCU just got blasted all week long. You want to talk about market moves. TCU was a 6-point dog on the open. Got bet down to 3 throughout the week. People were betting TCU like crazy. And BYU just killed them. So now TCU goes to Houston, and, obviously Cougars are going to be favored between 2.5 and 3. And I don't know how you get behind TCU after what we just saw on Saturday.
2.5, 9.5, the magic number this week. Oklahoma favored by 9.5 against Mizzou. And so Pitt, off that Notre Dame loss, they're a 2.5-point dog at Georgia Tech. And BYU favored by 2.5 against Cincinnati. So I wouldn't say, the biggest matchups, but certainly big implications moving forward. Maybe some teams involved that people were not expecting to be involved at the start of the season.
Yeah. That Oklahoma team, man, you just wonder what would happen if Mateer never got his hand injured, because it really did derail their season. It's just too bad. Yeah. And that's sports, that's life. He hits his hand on a fluke play, bangs it off a helmet, and that really changed everything. I mean, I know that you like Oklahoma a lot, and we're talking about Mateer. It's like, it's not your fault that he got hurt. Because you saw them at full strength against Bama go into Tuscaloosa and win. And there was a lot of tweets at Will Reichard yesterday, the now Vikings kicker, former Alabama kicker, because Bama had a couple tries, and it was like, oh, that kicking game is not good down there at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But Oklahoma at full strength is a very good football team.
Sam, it's a very good chance they're in the playoff now.
They should be.
You're a 9.5 point favorite, and then you've got another team that fired their coach, LSU. So you should win these two. You're a 2-loss SEC team, and you beat Tennessee. You beat Alabama. And you can throw Michigan in there too as well early on in the year. They should make it. And then if you're splitting hairs, you can say Mateer wasn't ready to go, and that was the loss, the Texas game. He should have been on the field.
They should be in with 2 wins. Should be in.
2 losses.
Their win total was 6.5 this year, and they win 10.
Yeah.
Put them in.